Hey, what's up guys, Graham here from The Realm, and today we're going to be having a look at a little match between Clopse and Dom, and as well as that I'm going to be discussing the new patch. Now first of all, we can see both players dropping in there fairly close to each other, Dom going for the bot factory first, and Clopse also going for the bot factory. Very common start this build is factory first, because your commander now gives off 30 metal and 3000 power, so it's really effective to go with factory first. And you can see Dom now getting his first engineer out, and he's also helping get that engineer, or as Faber as they're called in PA, and he's getting up the mass extractor. And over to Clopse. Clopse goes to get 2 Doxes out first, and then a second bot factory with his mass extractor. So Clopse going for a more aggressive approach now, very early, using his first engineer over here, Dom, to get his radar out. Very good moves here from Dom, getting a second engineer out. I probably would have went with some Doxes for the scouting force, but he does get a Dox out. As you can see here, what I've just said about Clopse getting out the Doxes, Clopse is now starting to scout a lot earlier than Dom. And we can see now Clopse going for a third factory, definitely using up all that power and metal that his commander is creating. Dom, on the other hand, has got 2 engineers going around, and he's got now a third factory only being built by his commander. And we look at the army tab there, it's pretty even, except Dom has 2 more Fabers than Clopse. So with the scene now, we see now there might be a little altercation here. If Dom's Doxes come into, yep, it's going to come into contact here with Clopse's Dox. And right now we're going to see Clopse obviously sees it, is pulling his units away. So now from that, Clopse should have a good idea of where Dom actually is, because he can see what direction that Dox came from right there, them 2 Doxes. Clopse here now with 4th factory up, getting his first energy plant out. Dom, on the other hand, getting his second energy factory out, only with 3 factories though. Very fast paced this new patch is. It's a lot different than the other patches, but the main thing about this patch is the Doxes are very powerful. We can see Clopse here stalling on the metal a bit. Dom definitely having more metal, mainly because he got the engineers out. Clopse probably should have got an engineer or 2 out earlier than this to start grabbing some of the metal, but I'm sure he'll learn from that mistake there. Maybe it's part of his plan. I haven't seen Clopse play a lot this patch. But this patch though, the Doxes are very powerful, and it's very hard to counter them with anything else. I think personally, if I was to try and nerf the Doxes, I'd probably reduce their range a lot, because they seem to be very powerful at the moment, and they have that anti-air capability. Not very good anti-air, but still good in large groups. See here Clopse now with a large group of units here pushing around. He has some units around here on the backhand side of Dom's base as well. Dom has another large front here. Dom now up to 6 factories, well 5 and 1 being built. Clopse still only on 4 factories now, building his 5th right now. So as we can see, both players is kind of taking it easy, not too aggressive approach, kind of just keeping it nice and calm, nice and slow. Both players having radar up. Dom over here now building another radar. Very good placement here with Dom of this radar, because it gives him a broader area to see from, more than what Clopse has with only having the 1 radar. Clopse has an idle engineer here, something that you should try and never have if you're playing PA. You always want to be trying to expand, building more power. There's lots of stuff he could be doing with that engineer. See here now, there's going to be a little altercation down here. See Dom trying to pull units around the back of Clopse's base, maybe thinking that Clopse is trying to expand up around here, maybe trying to pick off an engineer. That's what I'm sure he's thinking. Pulling more units around here. Clopse coming in here now with the harassment on the main side of Dom's base, but also some harassment on the backhand side of Dom's base, also trying to get any engineers that are expanding to these metal spots. Very good tactic on every patch on PA is always to try and limit where your opponent can expand to. We can see now here Dom has these ones covered, but he does not have this one up here covered, and as you can see, Clopse is taking advantage of that now, getting a metal extractor up there. See Doxer, Clopse here now building a single laser turret down here, because he knows that Dom has been putting units through there, so he's going to try build up some defenses there to try and make Dom go a different way. Very nice tactic here. Clopse now up to 7 factories and an 8th one in production. Absolutely great. Really starting to pump them out. And Dom also has 8, but he's pumping out a 9th one now. So we're definitely going to see the amount of Doxers on the screen beginning to pump up anytime soon now. Dom doing a very good job of expanding. You can see here in the eco 6k power and 106 metal to 78 power and 4.8k power for 78 metal, sorry, for Clopse, and 4.8 thousand power for Clopse, and he's stalling on power as well. So Clopse really needs to get some more power out. Definitely needs to start going on the offensive, not even full offensive, but he needs to start trying to pick off Dom's expanding engineers, because not getting them expanding engineers really can shape a game, because it can give a lot more eco to your opponent and you can lose out on a lot of eco yourself. See Dom once again doing a good job over here, holding off against where Clopse was trying to expand, but Clopse obviously sending units now to try to clear them up. Clopse though is worried by this group over here. You can see he's definitely putting units towards it, but he's not sending his units in because he's waiting, because he knows them will pull away. He's trying to bring them in towards the turret first, see how much damage the turret can do before he sends his own units in. You see you've got some walls in front of the turrets as well. Walls and turrets are quite effective against the Doxers, I have found, because the walls, if you have a full set of walls around the turret, the walls sponge up a lot of the damage that the Doxers can do. Both players stalling power now, but Clopse stalling metal, which can be an issue here. You can see right here now, Clopse should really try grab this metal right beside his factories. It's no excuse. Clopse is a good player, and that is no excuse not to be grabbing that. As you can see, right as I say, he's starting to grab it. He was being harassed heavily, so that's his excuse there, but still, you should try grab it. Over here as well, I know this was just contested, but he's starting to push units in. Definitely should be an engineer coming in after that to grab it. So you can see now how many factories have they got. If we look now at the tab, Dom has 16 to Clopse's 11 factories. So Dom really able to pump out more units than Clopse. Dom has 240 unit count to Clopse's 146. So really Dom is starting to pull ahead in terms of unit. Dom is also ahead in terms of eco, but both players are stalling power at the moment. Dom really needs to sort out the power. Oh, he's after sorting out more, but Clopse here is stalling nearly 3k power, and that's not good at all when you need a successful eco. Clopse as well is still stalling metal, and he's only starting to get that under control now, grabbing this field that I mentioned earlier. And we're just gonna have a look at how Dom is expanding. Dom is expanding all over here. He has this radar, but we have a raiding party from Clopse coming in now. Probably gonna get in there, probably gonna get 1 or 2 mass extractors down before Dom's units come in to clean them up. They definitely gonna get one down. They should have focused on that second one and taken it down, or ran back before charging them in. But still got 2 mass extractors down. Really good win there for Clopse. You can see him coming in again. He might even take down some more of these mass extractors here. He needs to be really quick because there's units coming in from behind him, and his units will get destroyed. But he needs to do as much damage as he can right now with them. Really good play from Clopse up here. Now we can see Dom here starting to just make a front line offensive. Really just starting to try push through. But he's not, he's going to pull him back. Clopse has a lot of units on the fence here. It's really good play from both players at the moment. Except Dom is now stalling metal. That's because of the damage, the amount of damage that Clopse done with them units. He could nearly cleared out 6, 7, nearly 8 metal extractors with a handful of Doxers, even though Dom had that big huge clump right there, because Clopse microed them correctly, didn't charge them into a fight they were going to lose. Instead he ran them away, slowly picking off the mass extractors. See, a good tactic here by Dom now. Instead of going straight in to units, he's trying to pull around the side and harass. Now if I was Dom, I would probably try to take out this base first instead and harass up here, but then at the same time I can see what he's thinking. Clopse has a lot of units here. He doesn't want to run all his units around and then Clopse attack. So as we can see now, both players stalling metal at the moment. Clopse also stalling power, and Dom now also beginning to stall power. As you can see, especially with this build there's a lot of micro intensiveness on the Doxer, so you can see a lot of players stalling power or metal here or there because they're too busy trying to micro the units, and it's really hard to micro and to do both at the same time, to micro and macro at the same time. A lot of players are really good at it, but some players, myself, it's kind of hard sometimes to find that balance, especially later on in the game when you're moving a lot of units around. But right now, on the army tab, you can see Clopse is starting to catch up. He's only 80 units behind now. Dom still has the advantage right now. Clopse beginning to take the lead in metal, but Dom still 3k power ahead. Both players are stalling their economy though at the moment due to the loss of metal. We can see right now, Clopse trying to grab this metal out here. You can see that he's stalling metal, so he's trying to fix that. Clopse now with 15 factories to Dom's 20. So Dom has a lot more units than Clopse at the moment. A lot more. But Clopse is slowly edging his way up faster. Look, he's only 70 behind now. Dom has some really big clumps here. He's harassing over here. He's harassing at the bottom, forcing Clopse's units to pull down to defend this base. And then he sends the big force in at the main base. Gonna cut through these factories. And once the factories start going down and Clopse isn't taking his out, the game is nearly gone. Because you can't get off a snipe on this. Well, you suppose you get off a laser snipe on multi-planet things or something. But it's very difficult to get off a ground snipe or a vanguard snipe, anything like that. Because there's just so many Doxers. And they're so easy to just mass pump Doxers and just pump them out. It's very easy to do that. Now we can see Dom here trying to go in front, maybe pull around, get to the commander, but Clopse having a lot of Doxers around near the commander. Around the commander was like cannon fodder, so the commander could get a Zuber cannon off if he is attacked. Really good play here. Dom now with 21 factories to Clopse's 12. See now we can see Dom again just holding off these places so Clopse can't expand them. Clopse going forward with his commander, but Dom coming into the back of his base. Clopse barely has anything to defend. Dom is going to eat up that base before the units manage to get down. See it up. I think Clopse is maybe seeing that he's going to quit. He's going to send his commander in a suicide run. Surrounded by Doxers. He might do a decent amount of damage if he plays his cards right here. But personally, I haven't watched this match yet, and I think that this match is going to go in Dom's favour right now. He's a lot of units here. He's constantly pumping out units, constantly pumping out a lot more units than Clopse is. And his commander now is taking a lot of fire because he walked him out of circle there. The Doxer is soaking up the damage from the commander. Really just leave it. He left his commander out in the open there. Big mistake there. He should have kept his commander with the Doxers. I just didn't realise how much faster the Doxers were than the commander. Commander's nearly about to go down now. He's got about 25% health left, if not less, and he's taken out 2 factories. But as you can see here, Clopse has now stopped making more factories, just pumping out what he can, where Dom is already rebuilding the factories that he lost. This factory here, they're straight up more units, constantly pumping out the units. And we can see Clopse's commander going down now, down to less than 10% health, probably 5% health, and there it is. It's GG. Clopse is gone. Dom has the victory. Really nice game. Really fun to cast, really fun to watch, and you can just see how good the Doxers are in this patch right there. Really powerful unit. Nothing can really counter them this patch. This has been Graham. If you like this video, do not forget to like the Realms YouTube channel and also to subscribe for some more YouTube videos. Thanks for watching.